I am Ajibola Ojeshola. The month of July is already half gone. As you can see, rather, Joshua is right here beside me, and together with the ladies, we promise to make the best of your Monday on The Conversation today. Joshua.
What a way to start the week. It's a pleasure to have you join us on The Conversation. My name is Joshua Murakinyo. Of course, interesting weekend we had. Of course, dovetailing into the weekend from last week. And of course, very disturbing stories of building collapse all across the country. That, for me, very worrisome. But I guess we'll speak to that perhaps in some of the stories we'll be taking this morning. You're welcome again.
Good morning. I am Joy Olu. Welcome to The Conversation.
Okay, so quickly we'll go to the next point for today. But before we do that, I read a particular news item over the weekend, and I was very, very happy because of those journalists who were released in Kaduna State. Remember, they were kidnapped
2 of them, yeah.
Last week together with their wife and children. And so the fact that they were released over the weekend gave me some joy. And of course, I'm happy for the members of their family.
But 2 people. I read a report where it was said that congratulations, they're congratulating the NSA, National Security Advisor Office, for helping to, but should we have that in the first place? However, for them to be released, I think it's a good story, it's a welcome development. And I think the effort put into, perhaps, maybe I don't know them, they don't have a lot of war chests or money chests, as the case may be. But of course, the fact that they were released, perhaps on their credibility or their personality of being journalists, that speaks to the fact that it's not a bad deal to be a journalist. But that doesn't mean we should be kidnapped.
Get ready for them to go and kidnap.
You know, the job comes with a lot of hazards, and people don't really know what goes on behind the scene. All they see is the smiling face on TV, good voice on radio, and the good write-up that you put into your different newspapers, forgetting that there are challenges facing journalists in Nigeria as well, just like in any part of the world. And the monthly sanitation exercise is back in Lagos.
Is it back?
No, it's not back. It's not back. The governor said we'll consider.
It's been
Joshua,
considered.
the Honorable Commissioner for Environment was here. He already let the cat out of the bag.
No,
it is coming.
The governor said
It's been
yesterday.
considered.
Okay.
The governor yesterday, during the tree planting, they said, look, we're going to look at it. We are reviewing it, and of course, it's in the pipeline. I guess the whole essence is to get people to clean their drainages and have a more clean environment.
Well, sanitation or no sanitation?
Yeah.
A pig is a pig.
But you need to enforce some rules because
So they have
people
to
sometimes people can
force
be,
you
to
people
clean
can be
it.
very
Clean your house.
recalcitrant. You have situation where
Does anybody force me to barb my hair, to brush my teeth?
No, some might say it's
see,
because you're a broadcaster.
I work on the island. I work on the island for about 5 years, right? So I noticed that people will erect structures that are absolutely incredible. It costs billions of naira to do that. But the entrance into their building is an eyesore. In fact, there are no drainages, existing drainage, because the place is, they built into the place where you ought to have the gutters.
So where were the agencies of government when they were building?
You see, when agency of
Joshua,
government,
is neither here
hang
nor
on,
there.
agency of government can be in every location.
Sure.
But however, how about someone that can give an architect to design a structure?
What kind of
Get the
architect?
permit. Get the
professional
permit.
or a
A
quack?
professional. Of course, you can't erect structure in that kind of place without getting someone that will.
And buildings are collapsing there.
The conversation.
Some do engage quacks to cut
True
corners.
that, but I'm saying that if you are reasonable enough to acquire property in that kind of place, I am sure common sense should have said, this is the access road into my house.
Is it common?
You know,
I noticed that we don't
have
you don't even need an architect. You
everyone
don't need a
is reasonable.
professional or a building professional to tell you that, look, I'm building a house. Wouldn't there be gutter in front of my house? Those are questions
that
you
was the
should,
shocking
you
part.
should
So
ask.
every time it rains in that area,
It's always flooded.
they use canoe.
Congratulations to them.
Talking
All
about,
right, quickly we'll take our news point for today. Let's start from Lagos with Adebimpe.
Sanwo-Olu reads riot act to residents who litter drains, vandalize manholes. The governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, yesterday read the riot act to residents who litter the drains and remove manholes, saying a stop must be put to such habit. The governor, who spoke at the campus playground Odunlami Street while flagging off a community-based environmental sanitation awareness program, urged all residents to take action by prioritizing environmental cleanliness in their daily lives. He expressed dismay at the level of littering of drains observed while touring some streets on Lagos Island. Where's Baturi?
Is it inside the report?
That's me. Is that where it's Baturi?
On Lagos Island, advising that it is high time all residents embrace good environmental habits to avoid any form of disease breakout in Lagos. This is what we're talking about. Now, the governor is the one going around and now telling us that you shouldn't litter the drains. How much of this talk will help, will work one day?
You
It's
see,
about a person.
Yes,
It's about the person.
It's about who you are.
Yes.
And you see, some of us are not responsible citizens. And why would anybody remove a manhole?
No,
If
they
you-
sell
if
it
you-
though.
I know they sell it.
They go for a manhole.
What
Gongo.
Mr. Governor said yesterday, part of what he said rather, some people will remove the manhole and dump their refuse inside. What kind of thinking is that?
Those that have
And when
power
your
to-
environment is flooded, you come back and blame government for not doing the
Have you
needful.
been on social media lately?
Ha.
When you hear people say, when government demand that we should have responsible or responsive citizens, how about government that is not responsible by clearing the drainages and ensuring that all the access, the primary, secondary channels are working properly?
place.
Government is not responsible and you're demanding that citizens should be responsible. Haven't you seen that before? And they use
Fine.
very explicit,
Fine.
really...
But you know, we are discussing Lagos here, and I've seen it at different locations of the states where the State Ministry of Environment, Office of Drainage, we're cleaning canals, dredging canals, of course, cutting dirt away from drainage channels. And before you see it the following morning, some people would have dumped refuse there again. So government is doing its part, maybe not 100%, but as citizens as well, we hold ourselves some responsibilities.
So we don't have much of wole like we used to.
They are
all
not
this,
enough.
All this wole.
Then
that
do they still
you
wole
see.
self?
I think we need.
But we spoke with
faceless
one of their
enforcement.
past
One of them is
presidents.
coming today. We still
Oh.
have Wole Wole.
Yes, we have one. Yeah, we have
Wonderful,
one coming in as a
wonderful.
guest.
We'll
No,
put the
but I
question
think
to
the
him.
bottom line is we should have people that are responsive. If you are like my father, that even on the road, he sees a nail. And I think I've said this story
Josh,
before here.
that was a
And
sane
my father
generation.
would say, "Oh, they show yele."
That was the
So
same
you
generation.
will go back.
That was the same
It's
generation.
not, if you just throw it anywhere, you will receive another slap. It means you didn't dispose the nail properly. So you will go back to the place, pick the nail, and put in the place where it won't hurt anyone.
Okay, Joy, your story.
Right. Lagos clarifies ban on downfall Korope buses along Lekki Ekpe
What did you
corridor.
call it?
Korokwe.
Korope.
Korope,
Lagos State government has clarified plans to ban downfall and Korope buses along the Lekki Ekpe corridor starting from October 1, 2024. This is according to the Special Advisor on Transportation to the Governor, Shola Giwa. He said that the move is part of the state's bus reform initiative aimed at enhancing public commuting and better serving the residents of Lagos. This was a reaction to the media reports that downfalls will be banned in Lagos, and he explained that the initiative will introduce mass transit buses for Lekki Ekpe corridor. Downfall buses that meet the standards of the Vehicle Inspection Service will operate as mid-capacity buses. Korope buses that also meet the standards will be integrated into the first mile, last mile services to serve the interior roads along the stretch from Abalindi CMS to Aja.
Okay, I don't know how
It's
that's
plenty
going to work,
English.
but I do know that that's Lagos Bus Transit, Management is doing something in improving its fleet from about 300 buses, about 50 buses to about over 300 in the past 5 years, covering their event. But I think there's a huge number of people going into that very bustling new Lagos in that axis where you have the proposed airport, Dangote refinery, free trade zone, all the estates springing up. How do you service all of them when you remove all the shuttlers that will take people into the hinterlands? I don't know how that's going to work, the logistics of that. And we're also trying to move to CNG buses. I don't know how Korokwe. Well,
it's not going to
well,
fit in.
I heard. I mean, I don't know how you will withdraw their services, and you won't find people trekking more. We'll
Does the
become
report say
London
they are
anyway.
removing them
it's
or
good to track.
regulating them?
It's good to track.
What
It's good
did
to
you
track.
say?
But even the first and the last mile buses,
Yes.
I hardly see them.
Yeah, I know some that started well around this.
That started well.
Started well.
Maybe there will be need for government to buy more.
They will just stay as
Maybe
you don't use the cowrie card.
there will be need for government to buy more. And, you raised something very
huge
important.
investment. And
You raised something very important. How do we expect people to commute in that part of Lagos if you withdraw Korokwe and the likes? You can withdraw, what's the other one called?
Marua.
Keke napep.
Keke napep. You can withdraw that.
They're all a nuisance, really.
coincidentally,
And the
I think I will
Korokwe
ask
and
them
the
anytime I
Marwas.
see the special advisor to the governor, Honorable Sholagiwa, again, I'll ask him the question because so many laudable
Maybe you
initiatives,
should
but I'm
facilitate
looking
him
at
coming
the,
here
Come on.
I can
to explain better.
Hopefully
so
they'll
that
come
it
here.
won't be
Josh, let's have a story.
misconstrued.
Okay, I'm moving on to this interesting story, and that is creating more states won't solve Southeast problems. That's credited to the former NBA chairman,
President.
Agbakuba, SEN. Has faulted the agitation for the creation of additional states in the Southeast, insisting it would not solve the problem of the region. Rather than create more states, Agbakuba, a former president of the NBA, said the National Assembly should amend the constitution or put together a completely new one that will return Nigeria to regional government. Speaking to News Agency of Nigeria on Sunday, it said the House, according to a report, the House of Representatives recently passed for second reading a bill seeking the creation of a Titi state out of Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states from the Southeast geopolitical zone. During the debate on the general principles of the bill, Oga representing Abia said the establishment of a Titi state was not just a matter of administrative convenience, but a step towards ensuring balanced regional development and effective governance. But of course, the lawmaker, well, that's about the whole idea. But Agbakuba is saying, look, we need to have perhaps rework the constitution, or better still, have a new constitution that will allow us to go back to regional government. Having a TT state, as it were. Of course, in the fairness or in the scheme of things, it will balance because you have six.
Joy is correcting you here.
A titi. Then.
Okay.
A titi.
A titi.
What does that mean?
Not a
A
kitty.
titi means middle.
Okay, so you have middle states that will balance up the southeast part of the country. However, what have we done with the five? Well, in the fairness, give them if that will resolve it. But I know some states that cannot pay 30,000 minimum wage.
God bless you. So even if we create another state, how viable is that state going to be?
It's still going to suck from the
creating
federal
How
government.
is the state going to survive?
Survive.
I think
that is the least of our problem.
how the state is going to survive?
Yes.
Joshua,
In
if
as
you
much we create more states, we
you are
have more
creating more problems.
more administrative wahala, more
more
structures, more employment, more drain on the federal resources. But it's okay.
Other
Okay.
regions to ask
But
for more
let's
states.
do it. No, for
we'll see-
fairness,
we'll see how-
equity, and
we'll
justice.
see how it
More
goes.
local governments.
We'll see how it goes. 80 states, right? Okay. So whether it's going to come to fruition or not,
Middle
Time-
states.
time will tell. Okay, middle states, in the middle of the southeast. All right, the final news point this morning is coming from the Punch. IGP bows to pressure, suspends e-motor registry enforcement. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has suspended the enforcement of electronic central motor registry registration for vehicle owners in the country. The first PPRO, Muyiwa Adejobi, had on Saturday said the IG ordered that the enforcement of the ECMR should commence on July 29. The enforcement order sparked an outcry from Nigerians who accused the police of creating an opportunity to extort vehicle owners. Also, the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association section on public interest and development law, John Martins, said the directive by Egbetokun to begin enforcing the digitized central motor registry was a blatant disregard for the rule of law. But in a statement on Sunday, Adejobi announced that the IG has suspended the enforcement of the ECMR.
I think it's a good one. We have so many duplicates of bills and tariffs and charges. And what the federal government is trying to do is just reduce it. You remember when it started about like a year or 2 years ago, everyone complained that, what do we need this for?
And I think
What do we need it for?
vehicle owners are expected to pay 6,000 naira.
Yeah, but now I think suspending it is good.
Suspending. Okay. I think it's good as well.
Suspending
It's
it
good.
for
Anything that will make them suspend so many things in my life. at the moment.
It's good.
So
Because that arm
suspend
of MBA actually complained that the police does not have the right to start charging Nigerians for 6,000 naira. And the IGP was like, or the PPRO was like, okay, it's within the law for the police to do this and that. That was yesterday on X. But before the end of yesterday, he was called into his camera and he had to reissue another statement saying that the enforcement has been suspended. Power past power. So we'll quickly move to X. Interesting time in Nigeria. And the hashtag for today is End Bad Governance in Nigeria. Some people are planning to stage a protest on the 1st of August 2024. And we are yet to, I don't know.
Okay, I have a few words for that. One, we have bad governance in Nigeria.
Yes or no?
We can't deny that.
Yes or no?
I said we have is a statement of
It's a
fact.
known fact.
Okay.
We have this of fact. However, there are ways and channels of ending bad leadership. As far as this country is concerned, as far as we have the 1999 Constitution as amended, you can only remove your leader through the ballot. You can't do that by protest. You can't do that even when you go to court of law, except you have evidential hearing or evidences that can disprove the existing fact on the table.
You can recall.
You can recall. You can impeach. Anything outside that is ultra virus. It means it cannot
you
work.
cannot impeach you.
But you can say, yes, I don't. That's what I'm saying. So this one that we're saying, end bad leadership, and don't forget, there's
But
Josh, always an undertone to every kind of protest you see out there.
Is that to say that people do not have the right to protest peacefully?
They can do. You are now adding that's what I've been looking for.
the
When you
main
say
word,
protest, you say peacefully. But peacefully is a function of who is leading it, who is behind it, who has the motive.
What is the
In
intention?
Nigeria,
Yes.
we've seen nowadays, we know that every time someone goes out there, history has shown that there's someone stoking the embers of fire.
Yes.
I think they should just get their permit from the Nigerian Police for Protection so that those people who have ulterior motive will not hijack the protest and turn it to something else like we had in the time of NSAS. But bad governance, yes, people have the right to protest peacefully now without going violent, and it is what it is. Nigerians are crying, Nigerians are bleeding, they can barely survive, they can barely feed, and it's boldly written all over their faces.
We need good leadership to help us navigate these turbulent times in the country. And I think it can happen when people that we surrendered our sovereignty to go there and realize that they are there not for themselves but for the people. But that's a far cry. I haven't seen much of so many people like that in leadership today. It's sad.
And I also hope that
It's a sad development.
this will be a wake-up call to all Nigerians who are eligible to vote. 2027 is coming. Vote wisely. Stop trading your vote for a stipend.
No,
or
stop
for a
going
bag.
on social media.
for a
I'm telling
bag
you, this
of
social
rice.
media
To
cannot
make
help. You are
noise.
telling me about bad
Josh,
leadership.
aside
When
from
you want to vote, you're saying, I can't join them. I
Aside
can't queue
from-
in the sun for 5 hours.
aside
Go
from
to
social
America.
media, aside from social media, people trade their vote for a stipend. 2,000 naira, 3,000
3,000.
naira,
You
5,000.
don't see
A
500.
loaf of bread, a few pieces of Indomie noodles.
The best way to get new leader.
But who are the people that receive those stipends?
I mean, some people do
Not-
receive,
not
they will
the-
queue for
not-
it.
not the youth, Nigerian youth.
May we never be hungry.
Where are you from? Are you in this country?
May we never
Do
be
Nigerian
hungry.
youth
And I
Queue
think
for
the political class are actually taking advantage of the poverty in the land.
And don't forget, every time we talk about bad leaders, they don't come from the skies, ladies and gentlemen.
Comes from amongst us.
Yes, they are brothers and our cousins. And as soon as your brother gets there, you say, Okpeo.
It's our turn.
Okpeo is our
Okpeo.
Our local.
This national
Our
Okpeo,
local.
yes.
I'm not going to say
Okpeo.
our local.
Then you forget about all your problems. Then you go for the jugular. You yourself, you just want to milk the nation.
But how can the Nigerian police or the military, manage a 10-day protest? August 1 to August 10.
We'll cross the bridge when we get there.
Okay.
We'll cross the bridge when we get there. But I will not be an advocate of violence of any form. Let us continue to endure as Nigerians. Forget all the powder. I'm also enduring. My pocket is
Forget all the
enduring. My
powder.
spirit is enduring. My body, soul, and spirit is enduring. Joshua, why are you looking at me? I'm enduring.
We're
Am I
enduring.
not?
We're enduring.
Do you know how many months we have been on the issue of minimum wage? I'm still on 30,000 naira. I'm barely surviving. I'm barely feeding. Don't let me start the protest here.
You don't look it.
Ajibola.
Okay, so that's what's trending.
We're not talking about what happened to Trump over the weekend.
Oh, that's true.
It was unfortunate.
What was unfortunate?
What happened to him? He was almost killed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Are you insinuating anything?
What are you
Some
saying?
people
Are
said
you-
that it was staged.
No.
No.
Some people said so, yes.
person
Some people
died,
said so, but
and the bystander was injured.
yes.
It wasn't
wasn't
a fluke. And the person that actually shot was also killed.
Was also killed.
A 20-year-old guy. Okay.
What could be his reasons?
Would that change the? Would that change the?
Of course. Did you see Donald Trump? In the midst of it, he was looking for his shoe and he did like this too.
We're looking for issue.
Yeah, that's
But
Donald Trump.
it
He's
wasn't a
just-
good sign for America's democracy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, a lot of leaders worldwide condemned that action, and it's safe. And it's beginning to talk again and again and again. And the sitting president has refused to quit.
I mean, I love what Joe Biden said. He said, look, let's tone down the rhetorics. The politics is being heated. I like the fact that on both sides of the aisle, talking about the Republicans and the Democrats, they're joining hands to say, look, this is not good for our democracy. We don't want this kind of thing. But of course, it also speaks to the security they have. Of course, the House of Reps has called for the SSS to Secret Service to come explain why that kind of thing happened. So we're going to have a lot of explanation. But this is the part I love about the whole thing, is the fact that the person was arrested, justice was meted out
Immediately.
We didn't have, sorry, we will look for the person, and adequate sanctions will be meted out in due course.
Long story. All right, so many interesting conversations this morning on the program. Do remember to take advantage of our social media platforms. Let's have your say on some of the issues we have discussed earlier today. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, the show will continue.